Just days after his defiant speech at the United Nations rejecting demands to end the war in Gaza, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is set to meet with his most important supporter. Today's meeting with President Trump in Washington comes at a tenuous moment. Israel is increasingly isolated, losing support from many countries that were long its steadfast allies. And at home, the Prime Minister's governing coalition appears more fragile than ever, and the White House is showing signs of impatience. All of that courtesy of some of the reporting from the Associated Press. Now, joining us now to discuss.
Well, Benjamin Netanyahu is about to meet Trump. He's about to meet our President of the United States. People, when I think of Benjamin Netanyahu, I think of a dark cloud, a very dark cloud. And when I think about Donald J. Trump as they meet today, it is a false ray of hope, a false ray of hope. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am Friend Chad Pearson, and welcome again to my channel. This will be a video where I personally don't want to do it. Many times as I do videos that is decode and bring to you information, I don't want to do it. But I know what I got to do. This brings me to a crossroads where faith meets fear. And we got to make a decision. Do we trust God 100, 1,000, 1,000,000%? Or do we let fear grab our heart and take us down a road of uncertainty? Mankind made a plan long time ago as they subjected themselves and made an oath and a pledge, whatever you want to say it, to Satan. And war is and was on the agenda to bring us to a brink. Unfortunately, I'm here to report to you, we are on the brink. Not just of a WAR overseas, but something that could very well happen from within. I have known about possible hits, if you will, within the United States. I've known about it for over 40 plus years. There is tons of intel, past and present, what to prepare for. I ran videos on my last channel, I believe even on this channel, where New York talks about running to shelters. It appears to me that an internal strike is at the door. Generals from across the land were called up by Pete Hegseth, the Department of War, this past week. Homeless people are being removed from the streets of the big cities. National Guard is being deployed. We have people running around with fake IDs like they're police officers or first responders. I lightly touched on this scenario yesterday in a video. And today I want to go further because in the middle of the night, I got to thinking about it. So I brainstormed everything in terms of the news where they're hinting at what's coming. And like someone put in the comment section, Why aren't the National Guards in the neighborhoods? Great question. I want you to listen to Benjamin Netanyahu. I believe this was done yesterday or the day before. He's the leader of Israel. He's at the United Nations. And he asked the question, just imagine if America faced an October 7th-like attack.
Imagine an attack against America proportioned to the attack against Israel on October 7th. Imagine a regime, a terror regime, dispatching thousands of terrorists to invade the United States. They massacre 40,000 Americans. They take 10,000 Americans hostage. What do you think America would do? You think America would leave that regime standing? No way, not a chance. The United States would wipe out that terror regime and ensure that such savagery would never threaten America again. This is precisely what Israel is doing in Gaza. We're wiping out the terror regime of Hamas and ensuring that this savagery will never threaten Israel again. That's
as much as he wants to be believable about what's going on in Israel, and I've made a lot of videos saying that you're not going to make me believe that Hamas hit Israel by land, sea, and air without the powers on both sides of the shore knowing. Which means if I am right, it was allowed because they have a playbook and an agenda and a time scheme. And what I'm submitting to you, since they accomplished that goal, October 7th of 2023, now the goal is to accomplish that same goal and strategy on our shores. So when he says, imagine if America faced that type of situation, well, in my mind, he was given a hint that it's coming to America. It's coming to America. This was sent to me by several people, including John, overnight. Interesting. FBI insider just issued imminent warning. Prepare now. I will put this in the link. Listen, it is a reminder of what happened with 9/11 and bin Laden family. And I want to add this. One of the most bizarre / peculiar things happened during 9/11. Did you see the documentation that during 9/11, all the flights were canceled? I'm gonna say it again. Do you remember back in the day with 9/11, all air traffic was canceled? But do you know what family was able to leave New York after 9/11? The bin Laden family. Do your research. Now listen.
Being deported as well too, but listen to this.
We know, was it 2021, Hamza bin Laden, one of the sons of Osama bin Laden, became the military commander, and then about a year later became the emir of Al-Qaeda. And him and his brothers, Saad, Uthman, and Abdullah, are all in on the U.S. plot, which is Al-Qaeda is targeting soft targets, specifically hospitals, medical centers, and other things like that. The intelligence is they've got police uniforms, utility uniforms, fire and rescue uniforms, because the intent is to have first the primary attacks on whatever soft target, including hospitals, and then secondary attacks. But the key is if they attack the hospitals, and then are simultaneously doing other soft targets, there won't be anywhere in those cities to take the wounded people.
That's a scenario this guy is drawing. Again, I will put this in the link. I'm looking behind him, and I don't know what this is, but I do know that that's an M and or a W, okay? if you flip it around. But then again, I know it's a symbol for something. I forgot. You can fill in the blank. But in my mind, it's a M and a W. So let me show you something. Because you guys know I teach the 5 C's. Welcome new subscribers of clues, codes, colors, the comprehension, time, and conclusion. M and W. M is the 13th letter of the alphabet. W is the 23rd letter of the alphabet. When you put 13 and 23 together, you get 36. So you get 36. That's 6 3 times. I just decoded it in my mind. He's speaking, but is he speaking without speaking? Do you understand what I'm saying? I mean, people, he's giving warning. And I couldn't find the video, but it's on the website, Real America's Voice. It's in relation to Charlie Kirk's organization, or an offshoot, something like that, of Charlie Kirk's organization, allegedly. I will put this in a link, you can listen to it. Now check this out. So people, like I said in my live videos the last few days, if you think that the border crisis / illegal immigrant issue is only about that, no. Biden and company not only allowed illegals to come over and politicians created sanctuary city, it also, in my humble opinion, was a wink and a smile and a nod that after a few months, a lot of CELLS, a lot of people, scrupulous people who don't like us, who we have allegedly done bad things to over the generations, they came through our border as well. Listen to me very well, very good. And now that that border is being sealed off, hell, we don't know where they're at. I'm convinced we don't know where they're at. So is Trump trying to clean house and get them out of here? Maybe. But people, it's too late. We're infested. You had 4+ years of this crap. Thank you, Biden. Thank you, Kamala. All planned to bring us to this point. And again, we're at the crossroads between faith and fear. I want to get you ready. There's going to be casualties. We might not make it through. But then again, God's grace is sufficient, is it not? God's providence. Look at what happened a few days ago.
Hundreds of admirals and generals are leaving their posts from airfields, at sea, and at tactical headquarters around the world. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth summoning all U.S. general officers and admirals in command positions and senior enlisted leaders to a meeting at the U.S. Marine Corps base in Quantico, Virginia. But even those told to attend the meeting do not know what prompted Hegseth's call and what will be discussed. The Pentagon saying only the Secretary of War will be addressing his senior military leaders early next week. President Trump was asked about the meeting, but perhaps misunderstanding the question or unaware of the Hegseth meeting, he seemed to think it was foreign generals who were coming to meet Hegseth.
Well, I know, I love it. I mean, I think it's great. Let him be friendly. Let him be friendly with the generals and admirals from all over the world. Why is there something? No, but is there something wrong with it?
Vice President Vance stepping in.
It's not particularly unusual that generals who report to the Secretary of War and then to the President of the United States are coming to speak with the Secretary of War.
But there has not been a meeting quite like this one. and it has created apprehension among senior officers.
No, but is there some?
People, they're playing us. Trump is a great actor, like he didn't know. He just insulted your intelligence and mine. Mildly putting it, oh, well, you know, like he really wasn't unaware, and Vance saying his little JD response, oh, it's not unusual. Look at the climate, people. They don't want to sound the alarm. They want to play it off. They're acting. And let me tell you something. That was dumb, but it was on purpose. What was dumb? Either you keep it secret what you're doing, or you put it out there. They put it out there, and the news got a hold of it. And now people are asking questions, and many are in fear. Do you think Russia or China or anybody else is out there telling the world that they're meeting with all their major people? Hell no! Pardon me, Lord, I got to get my rest, so I apologize. Forgive me, people, but hey, think about what I'm saying. Think about it, people. When you are having psychological war on the chessboard, you don't let that kind of information get out that your top generals are meeting. Come on, man. People, they're telling us what's happening. Something's about to pop off.
Border Patrol agents have been marching through downtown Chicago, largely in the Loop area.
WGN's Brona Tumblety joins us now from Clark and Wacker. Brona.
Good evening, guys. Yeah, really bizarre scene in the downtown area. Dozens of Border Patrol agents making their way through the Loop here, very much wanting to be seen. We even witnessed some of them taking selfies. Lots of other people had their phones out as well, though, telling us they were shocked at what they're witnessing.
There's nothing happening here to protect. There's no crime, there's no riot. People are just enjoying a wonderful day.
As Chicagoans and visitors to the city enjoyed a sunny Sunday, sipping wine and eating outside, a blatant show of force stepped through the downtown area.
That was pretty alarming, just to see a group of masked guys walking around with ARs, silenced ARs. It's pretty intimidating.
Though our closest national border is over 500 miles away, dozens of armed Border Patrol agents descended on Chicago.
Descended on Chicago. What is the real reason? What is the real reason? What is the real reason? Is it just illegals? Is it just crime? Or is it something bigger? Are they here being sent to strategic parts of America because they know something is coming? That's the question of the hour. I'd like to know what's going on in your neck of the woods, and maybe I'll have a live we can discuss this.
Divisions have become so toxic that they spark violent outbursts, leaving a trail of bloodshed and grief in their wake. This is the harsh reality the United States is facing today, and it's a crisis that's only intensifying by the day. But here's where it gets even more disturbing. An armed individual posing as a law enforcement officer was recently detained at the site of a memorial service for Charlie Kirk, a conservative activist who was brutally assassinated just a few weeks ago. The incident has raised more questions than answers, and it's a stark reminder of the dangers that lurk in the shadows of America's deeply polarized political landscape. According to the Secret Service, the armed man was taken into custody at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona on Friday after exhibiting suspicious behavior. What?
And when you think about that, and you put it together in relation to what happened here and what this gentleman is saying, allegedly they have uniforms. First responders, firemen, police officers. We ain't gonna know who is what or what to trust. And they can hit us in all pockets. They call them soft targets, hospitals, whatever. We could have a cyber attack. It could be 3 days of darkness or a day and a half where you can't get around, and all of a sudden we have new money and old money is done.
Trump has signed a new executive order aimed at cracking down on homeless encampments. KTLA's Annie Rose Ramos live in downtown LA with the details. Annie Rose, good morning.
Hi, Frank. Good morning to you. Yeah, that new executive order from the president aimed at making it easier for cities and states across the country to remove homeless people from the streets. We want to get straight to that language of the order from the White House so you can see a little bit of it for yourself. It says it is targeted at removing, quote, vagrant individuals from our streets and redirects federal funds towards programs that tackle substance abuse. This order seeking to shift federal grant funding to states and cities that enforce prohibitions on urban camping, enforce prohibitions on drug use, and adopt policies allowing people with serious mental illnesses or substance abuse disorders to be forced into treatment. The governor responding to Trump's new executive order, saying it is more focused on creating distracting headlines than producing a positive impact. About a year.
Maybe the whole goal is to clean the streets as they allegedly prepare for what they know is coming. Are there and is this enough signs to make you think? Generals being called up. They didn't keep it secret. They put it out there in the open. Homeless being removed. National Guard being deployed. Why aren't they in the neighborhoods? This is serious, people. My name is Franchai Pearson. God bless you. We are one day closer. There's an alarm, right? We're one day closer to the coming of the Lord. I'll try to have a live and discuss this. Have an open live. You guys tell me what's going on in your neighborhoods. God bless.